start off with Sky, please.
Frank, really disappointing day, but I wanted to ask about Andros Townsend. How is he?
Yeah, he looks bad. I think it's a knee injury. Got his stud stuck in the turf grass, and we're scanning him over the next day or two. But the early signs are that it'll be a bad knee injury.
How much did that take away the momentum that he had at the start of the game?
Maybe a bit. We were playing well. We started well. Andros was contributing. Stopped the game for a bit and meant a change of personnel. Even after that, I thought we remained in relative control until the goal goes in, obviously. So yeah, it was a blow in those terms, yeah.
Just last one from me. We heard this week Mikel Arteta complaining about the lack of time to prepare for a game. Do you think with the scheduling of Thursday's game, that kind of hindered you today?
Yeah, two things hindered us. One was the scheduling, but not easy to rely on once you lost 4-0, but a reality that we could have played at 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock later on, but the broadcasters want to show other teams. So that was a negative for us. And then Alan's suspension not being turned over because it was a wrong decision, and it was easier to save face by leaving him with a 3-game suspension, which means we missed a big player today and we'll miss him for 2 league games.
Who's next, please? Okay.
Frank, how much damage does a 4-0 defeat in the FA Cup do in terms of your Premier League campaign, accepting that you've now got a fortnight's break until you play again?
Yeah, nothing for me. It should be nothing because, people talk, every time we win, people talk about momentum. Every time we lose, people talk about the damage it's done. And the reality is we have to be bigger and stronger than that. And it's a different competition. It's done damage that we won't go to Wembley. Our fans won't go to Wembley and won't have an opportunity to get to a final. In terms of the league after the break, it's up to us.
Greg O'Keefe, please.
Frank, you're right, if we did start on top, and then when you concede, it just feels as if this team has a tendency to be easy to score against when heads go down. I don't understand how you instill resilience into a group. Obviously, you can change defensive systems, but that mental resilience, is that the hardest challenge you've got?
Yeah, it's a challenge because it's been here. The issue of it, I think, has been here quite a long time before I got here. And I don't have a magic wand to get inside people's heads and change resilience across the whole squad. So that's a work in progress. The difficult thing for us is that we don't have lots of time in terms of the league to do that. So when you see a lack of consistency in a resilient looking team on Thursday and then less so today, my job title is quite vast as a manager, but to get inside their heads and change that with a flick of a switch is not possible. So we have to just keep working on that one. As frustrating as it is for me, as frustrating it is for the 4,000 fans that travelled down or people watching, that's one we have to fight against.
Frank, you spoke about that bit of confidence, lack of a bit of confidence, and I know it's difficult, but as a head coach, as a manager, what can you do for a bunch of players who are obviously suffering and lacking that confidence? You've got now 12, 13 big games moving forward. Yeah,
11. But there's only so much you can keep trying to butter someone up to give them confidence. There's a balance of confidence stroke. We're playing at the cutthroat end of football here. This is a quarter-final today to get to Wembley. And if you haven't got the confidence to play, then you can quickly flip it and say, have you got the bollocks to play? Sorry, excuse me, but I can't. That's the football reality. And if you fall somewhere in the middle, then don't worry about it, because we didn't play that badly today, and Palace didn't play that well today, and we lost 4-0 because of a lack of confidence and a lack of what I just said. So, wasn't tactics. Tactics showed in the first 20 minutes. Palace couldn't get out of half. So when you do things right within that structure, you'll be all right. If you can't be clinical in front of goal, you won't score goals. You won't feel like you're going to score goals. If you allow people to stroll into your box and finish with ease, they'll finish with ease. So, real basics.
Let's look at that.
Frank, I take your point about one competition not affecting another, but if there is anything, is there at least clarity? You've now got one job to do.
Yeah, there is. And I knew that going in. It didn't take anything off this game. the only thing it took off this game was a slight release that this Premier League tension, which builds, is not there. But then that gets replaced by the tension of how much you want to get to a semi-final and probably play one of the big boys when what you probably expect of the other ties. But it's not there. Maybe it's not Everton's time. It's not my time as an Everton manager to be there thinking about Wembley. It's maybe Crystal Palace have been together for a while with the manager since the start of the season, reinvested in really important areas of their squad and their team where they knew they needed to from last year. And it's their time and it's not ours.
The job is to stay up, isn't it?
Job's to stay up. It's the reality of it. I think if you offer any Evertonian before the game, do you want to win today and get to Wembley, or do you want to stay up? We all know what the answer is, and it's not that clear cut. I know that, and that's not me getting out of this. That was anywhere near the message today, because the players just performed. I think we performed at 70% today throughout the whole game, 70%, and it's not good enough. And the reality is now it's the league. We'll fight for the league. 11 fights.
Actually, you have an opportunity to work with them for a period of time, which you haven't had. What will you do over the next couple of weeks that you might, now you've got an opportunity of time to work?
Yeah, well, that's for us to, as staff, to work out, because some players go away, some areas of the team will look thin through players being away, and some areas will be able to work on the defensive structure. The offensive structure, but as I say, we're missing. For instance, Anthony Gordon's away at the top end of the pitch. At the back end of the pitch, we're missing Jordan Pickford. I'll go through it. I suppose it's irrelevant to keep going through it like that. But we need to work. We need to repetitively and physically as well, because when you're playing that regularly, it's not always easy to work the load and work things that need to be done repetitively. But clearly, we need to repetitively defend our box, because we did it well on Newcastle on the other night, and then we didn't do it well today. The only way I know to get better without a magic wand is to work. So we've got 2 weeks. It's probably the small bonus of an international break, because I'd rather go again now personally, but we'll work.
Okay, everyone, yeah?
Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks, all. Thanks.